I would say out of all the signs in astrology, fire signs usually have the worst apologies because they're the ones that are like, well, you know what I mean? And then somehow they're yelling at you again. It somehow gets aggressive again, you know? Like the apology. You know what I mean, right?
I do.
Like,
well,
even
because
though that's usually
sometimes
the
people
calm
want
conversation.
Well, because sometimes people then want to talk about it, you know, like talk through it. And the fire sign just needs to talk at you in that moment.
Which is crazy. I just imagine a fire sign, best case scenario is them coming to you and yelling, I'm sorry! And they run away and conversation's over.
Yeah.
They don't even need to hear anything from you.
That sounds great.
And it's like, that's not how life works, baby. Hi, everyone.
Hello, welcome. How is everyone's Christmas?
I hope it was relaxing.
Wonderful.
And I hope you liked what you got, liked what you gave, liked relaxing, even if you didn't exchange gifts, all of the above. If you don't celebrate, I hope you were able to still enjoy the fact that America makes you celebrate.
Right, that you got the day off at the very least.
But also I feel like we have actually watchers and listeners from other countries. And I'd be interested to know like how you guys do your Christmas over there.
Yeah.
If there's anything different that you do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very interesting always to see how different countries celebrate holidays like that. Or like even New Year's is different in like a lot of different cultures.
Yeah. It makes me think of people in Australia because, you know, technically it's their summertime right now. And so they still like have their Christmas, I hear, but everyone's like in like
swimsuits and shit.
Yeah, swimsuits and stuff. And then
That's
they actually have like
crazy.
another one in wintertime. So they kind of have like two Christmases. Like I guess this one isn't as serious for them.
Well, I mean,
but they still like
they're in
celebrate.
motherfucking bikinis.
Yeah.
I don't think Jesus would appreciate. I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just playing.
But I feel like that's where all the Santas like surfing and stuff like
that's hella
really originated. I think I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing. You learn something every day.
Yeah,
that's actually fucking crazy. You know, this also reminded me of. I don't know if you guys are familiar with SantaCon, but it's a thing that happens in San Francisco and I believe New York and some other major cities too, where literally everyone, like 2 weeks before Christmas, usually at the beginning or middle of December, everyone just dresses up. By everyone, I mean young adults and some adults dress up as Santas. And you go out and you go bar hopping and everyone's just dressed in like Christmas attire.
Yes.
And it's crazy because usually it's super cold here. And I remember I was at work and after a meeting, one of our big bosses was like, yeah, like happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. And then I remember one of my coworkers was like, oh yeah, SantaCon. And then I was like, oh yeah, SantaCon. And we're like, yeah, we're celebrating SantaCon. And then we were talking about how like, it's not just a thing in San Francisco. And it's a thing in New York. And someone asked a very good question of like, isn't it hella cold over there? Isn't it like freezing around this time? And we're like, yeah, but people don't care. They get up and they rally.
Right.
It's SantaCon.
Exactly. I feel like New Yorkers, they're used to it, you know?
Yeah.
So they just want a reason to go out, I feel like, in the wintertime because normally they're all cooped up.
It's true.
You know, because like how many
times? It's very jolly.
Yeah, like how many times do you really want to be stepping out in the winter when it's snowing?
It's true. And when everyone's doing it and you know you're probably not going to get those weird ass stares, like real hoes don't get cold. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And, you know, you will for sure have your alcohol blanket on. You know what I mean?
Are you serious? Like, I hope you've taken enough at home, had enough drinks at home that when you step outside, it automatically feels like at least 10 degrees warmer.
Yeah, you're like, ooh,
you're like, oh wow, I feel a little hot under this.
I'm trying to sweat.
Right.
No, okay, those costumes are really sweaty though.
They are. It's the material.
It is the material because I be sweating on Halloween too. Like it's just something about that material.
I don't know. I sometimes feel like
stink.
Yeah, I feel like anything that's not part of your usual attire, like the experience you have while wearing it, it just feels odd.
Yeah.
Like it feels like something borrowed, even though it's yours, but you're like, I'm not going to wear this often. You're like a one and done.
Yeah.
You know? And something about that, I don't know. Maybe it's my sidereal Taurus moon. I'm like, you are not mine. we don't have a connection.
Yeah.
You're just like,
You're just here for the experience.
yeah.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. Show me a good time.
I hope anyone who was traveling during the holidays, though, didn't get stuck in that Southwest stuff.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't see the Southwest. I just saw that there was a lot of like weather stuff happening.
Oh, yeah.
People couldn't travel.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like 3,900 flights were canceled from Southwest alone.
Oh my God.
On Christmas. And I just feel like that's so, Mercury retrograde.
It's very Mercury retrograde, but also, what are we? Like, is this Home Alone? Who's traveling on fucking Christmas?
Apparently, hella
like,
people.
you guys. Like,
well, because, maybe because it was, like, a Sunday, I don't know. I'm just trying to, like, think of reasons.
No, I mean,
agree.
whatever
I agree.
the reason may be, I'm sure there are reasons, but to me, never.
Yeah.
Like, Christmas,
I hate
hell
having
no.
to
Why the
travel on
fuck would I
holidays.
be at an airport on a holiday?
Yeah.
That sounds like the worst time for me. And everyone's just going to be, like, you're going to be packed together. Everyone's going to be in a mood because everyone's going to think that, like, their time is the most important.
Yeah.
They're the ones that deserve to go home to be with their family. And oh my God, no.
Right. And people, like, upset because maybe they missed their flight or it's
Yeah.
canceled because of weather stuff. Like, it just seems like a lot of tension
Yeah.
that I don't want to be a part of.
No.
So when I saw that, I was like,
Yeah, that sucks. That really
be
sucks.
well.
Because Delta hasn't been doing too hot.
yeah.
I mean, the airline industry in
Airlines
general,
are-
I feel
right.
like they're shitty, but I've heard bad things about Delta.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotta do my research. I feel like all of them have really gone downhill since the pandemic because
They
they
have.
didn't treat their
Employees right.
Exactly. And y'all saw all the videos. With the
when
masks.
you're
Oh my
short staffed.
gosh.
Remember that one about the legging? They weren't letting that girl in, that little teenager in, because she was wearing leggings. You guys,
What?
it was fucking weird. It was so strange.
What the hell?
It was like so weird.
That's so weird.
They're just like, who do you think you are?
Literally.
Like you are a fucking airline employee. Like, who are you to tell anyone what they can and can't wear?
right.
Ever.
There's no dress code to.
It was so weird,
Ride a
guys.
plane?
It weirded me out. What kind of power trip are you on?
Right. Why are you trying to mess with a little girl too? Little kid?
I can't.
What?
Why would anyone care that a girl is wearing? Y'all weird.
Weird.
Y'all tell on yourselves.
Obsessed.
Y'all tell on yourselves
Obsessed
with
much.
your weird behavior.
It's not okay,
Your
but-
projections teach me more about you.
Right. Projections.
Right.
It's raining out there.
I know, you guys. We've been getting a lot of rain in California, and we're very excited. And I know it's like really aggressively snowing and like a blizzard. But we've been in a drought, and you've heard about it.
Right.
And we coming out. If anybody cares.
Whenever I hear like California's in a drought, it reminds me of the Cinderella story with Hillary Duff.
I'm crying. Because waiting for you feels like waiting for rain in a drought. You guys know.
If you know, you know.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I am absolutely fucking crying.
No, but I'm happy for the rain, and I hope that it actually means snow, like in our mountaintops.
Yeah.
Because I know it's snowing in other places, but like we need it here
Yeah.
to help.
I actually just learned, and I had no idea, that like snow in California is so different than snow in other places. Like I thought snow, like it was all the same degree, but apparently snow in California is a different degree than snow in like Colorado or snow in like the other one that starts with the V.
Virginia?
Vale? Is that where it is?
Oh, Vale.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was shook. I mean, it makes sense because like our weather's never going to be the same as other places. But for some reason, I always thought like if snow particles are forming, it will be the same degree no matter where it is.
Yeah.
Kind of like boiling water.
Yeah.
And I was shook because I guess like
Yeah.
if you have snow attire that you wear when you go skiing in California, you need better ones when you go skiing elsewhere because that snow is like actually really, really cold.
Oh.
Yeah, and I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense though, because of like our climates, and it's naturally colder over there, so
Yeah.
their stuff is gonna stay colder. I'm sure it takes a certain point for it to freeze, but then once it's frozen, like it could get colder.
It could get colder, and I do wonder if it's because of the height of the mountains.
Yeah,
because
probably.
they're higher.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably colder up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting.
Look at y'all getting some science.
Charmed in science.
Your new Bill Nye's.
Yeah. Oh my! Speaking of Bill Nye, TikTok has me
What's happening with Bill Nye?
cracking the fuck up. You are not ready for any part of what I'm about to say. TikTok, I'd be cracking up. I don't know who to believe. I'm on TikTok, and then someone under this post, they were talking about, yeah, like that's why like SZA made Kill Bill, because like SZA and Bill Nye used to date.
Stop it.
And
Stop it. Stop it. No.
Sarah. It was literally like, I feel like they get committed, people on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then, you know, all these people are like, oh my God, yeah, here's the picture. Like, and then they have all these pictures. And I'm just like, you guys, no, just shut up.
Oh my God.
And then, you know, like 6 after all of the top ones where, you know, everyone was bringing up their best case.
Yeah.
Setting it up to be true. Someone was like, no, Kill Bill the movie. You know, the obvious answer.
Yeah.
But how do they have these perfectly photoshopped pictures? And why were they doing this to me?
It's a
And
whole
I have to be honest,
skill.
that was high as fuck. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I love this song. I'm like, oh, SZA, Bill Nye.
And then you're like scrolling and you're like, no way.
I'm like, no, this is so dumb. But it kept getting like more serious.
Oh my God.
Even though I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
in another dimension that's what's happening. I don't believe it to be true.
You know, that's really
But they
funny,
be
though,
cracking me up.
because she was really getting into her climate stuff. So I
Exactly.
could see
Maybe
them,
Bill
like,
taught her a little
bonding.
something, something.
Yeah, you know?
You know?
A lot.
What's his sign?
Yes! I think it's a Sagittarius.
See, I can't stay away.
Or maybe he was an Aquarius. Let's double check. I feel like I talked about him in one of our
You did.
Moment videos. I just can't remember which one. Bill Nye, the science guy.
Bill.
I want him to come out with another season of his
He's a Sag.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Because it was so good.
Maybe
And
SZA
I
will
feel
be
like
in it.
Yes, this narrative needs to continue.
Like,
I actually would really like it.
Oh my God, missed opportunity. He needs to revamp Kill Bill, and really, it'll be like his version of like, if you guys don't all work together to change the planet, you will kill Bill. And Bill was here.
True.
Like,
I like
you know?
it.
You know?
Yes, that's good.
Don't kill
Good.
Bill.
Don't kill Bill. We all love Bill.
Hashtag don't kill Bill. Oh my God, I can't.
Why does it say that Bill Nye is a comedian?
Because he fucking is. Look how much he just made us laugh.
I mean, but I
Are you
feel
kidding
like
me?
I would define him as a scientist first.
But
not
Maya,
as a comedian.
okay, well, maybe first, definitely. But let's be honest. Why were the Bill Nye videos so lit in middle school? Because he was
true.
making us laugh.
Yeah, he entertained.
Like, he wasn't like, science. Like, he was
He made it cool.
working extra hard to make it funny.
Cool. Yeah.
You know?
God bless that
I
Sagittarius.
take him
man.
very seriously. I take his humor very seriously.
Okay, so I saw this really crazy thing that apparently you can it was in North Carolina, and the sheriff department was like doing this ad for Valentine's Day. Like,
The
you
sheriff?
can you could turn your ex in if he has warrants, and we'll come pick him up, give him the special treatment.
Whoa.
I actually thought it was really funny because, you know, they're coming at vindictive women during Valentine's Day, or vindictive, you know, partners in general during Valentine's Day, and I kind of liked it.
Oh my God.
I thought that was a very interesting tactic to
Yeah.
try and get, you know what I mean?
Hit their numbers?
Yeah, try and get warrants, or, you know, try and get like the people who should be in jail.
That
Some
is
of them.
actually great.
Right?
I love that. I'm here for it. I don't know. I still don't trust these cops. I don't know what's in it really for them.
Yeah.
And I don't like that they're trying to be like, oh yeah, like we're so funny and we're so cool. Like we'll do this for you. I just like, I hate them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sure that now, like, you know, if you give up information, you're now on some list and they're always going to come bug you. Like, what if you now have to be like their rep?
Oh my
forever?
God.
That'd be
Because
terrible.
I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, like hee and like when you think about it, like it's so funny, you know, like fuck yeah, I get them. But then like thinking about it on a serious note, I'm like, shit, like you know how a lot of these abusive people are, like they find out you told on them or you were somehow involved, it puts you more in danger.
Yeah.
And you know how much the cops don't believe women when they're like,
I know.
you know,
like
what I mean?
how
So I'm like, how are you gonna actually
confident
protect
can we feel?
the person
Yeah.
that's actually, you know, telling on?
Yeah.
Ex?
No, for sure. Especially if it's like somebody in your town, like I feel like North Carolina. What if Joe is what's his name's buddy or something?
Yeah,
Jack's
exactly.
buddy. You know, he's
He
like, I'm
knows.
not gonna go pick up Joe.
Absolutely. And you know what he's gonna do right after he says I'm not gonna pick up Joe? He's gonna call Joe and be like,
And
your
let him
ex
know.
is she's doing some shady
She coming
shit.
for you. Watch your back.
Yeah.
And
And then it's gonna start a whole thing.
it's gonna be a whole Netflix series.
Exactly.
I shouldn't be laughing.
And Amber wasn't protected because that's her name.
Yeah.
Joe and Amber. Okay, so I have to give a show recommendation to the people, and it's Capricorn season, so I know we're feeling schmoody and dark all over again.
Yes.
And you know it's winter, so just indulge in the darkness that is winter. There's this new show on Netflix called The Midnight Club.
Okay.
And it's so good. It's scary, but not like, oh my gosh. Well, I feel like spice level and scary things should not be compared between people. So like, do your own thing. See how you feel. I don't think it's that scary. Maybe it has some like jump scares, but to other people maybe it is scary.
Yeah.
And it's essentially, it's not the same thing, but like Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, and then Midnight Club. They're all kind of in the same universe. So it's like similar vibes. And I don't know what it is about those shows. Like, I'm obsessed. I feel like they're really, really good at like being creepy and like somewhat scary, but also like really, really sad. And they kind of make you fall in love with all the characters that are going through this like very tragic thing.
You like feel for them?
Exactly. And it's obviously always like a mystery. It starts as a mystery and you slowly start learning more about the story. And it gets scarier and scarier like after each episode.
That's cool.
But
learn more.
it's really, really good.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's like when you look at this one specifically, it's about like young adults. So like I wouldn't have thought that this one would be like creepy, but they're doing it like they always did with the other shows too. So if you're looking for something like dark and like mystery and like emotional, I would say check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
Okay.
I love.
And where is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah,
Netflix.
all three of the other shows are on Netflix.
Oh, so it's
too.
like a series kind of. Okay.
It's a series.
So kind of like
But just a different storyline every season.
Got you.
It does
Kinda
not
like
tie together.
American Horror Stories, how they
Exactly.
do it, but different.
And it's cool because it has some of the same like actors and actresses that play throughout all four.
Oh, okay.
So like the first two kind of had the same actors and actresses. So it's like kind of American Horror Story in that sense too, that you might see like some of your favorite characters return, because I can tell the writers or producers, I don't know which ones are the same between all four, they like using the same kind of the same actors and certain characters.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes you, I don't know, it makes you feel tied to them.
Yeah.
Like whenever I do see one from another season, I'm like, oh my God, like I get like excited. And I have all these feelings towards them because I remember their story in like each season.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if it's like the water sign in me or what, but I just feel so nostalgic and like it makes me love it. Even though they're not the same character, I still like feel this attachment to them.
Yeah.
That I really enjoy.
Yeah. I was going to ask if they play the same character in the other seasons or if it's just like your new person.
Yeah,
but
you're a whole
obviously
new
you know they're
person.
the same person.
Whole new world.
Yeah. Got it. That's fun.
Yeah.
I like
It's
to
really
see that
fun.
actually because sometimes it's hard for me to get a character out of the character that I know them in, if that makes sense, especially if there's like a couple of seasons or like a movie that I really loved.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like, who are you in this in this other universe, right? So it's kind of cool that it forces you to be like, think of them in these other ways.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Truly. I've just like never watched something that was like scary and sad and the relationship between scary and sad is so beautiful. Like, that's the best way for me to describe it for all of these shows.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably hard to do.
It is. It really, really is.
But good for people to see the beauty in darkness as well. You know?
It's true. And, life is not cute. Life is not always nice. Sometimes. And there's a lot of death in these shows. So it kind of forces you to perceive death in a different way.
Yeah. Or even think about it. A lot of people don't like to ever think about it, but we can start to process it through other mediums and ways.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I have another show recommendation, also on Netflix. It's called The 7 Lives of Leah. It's in French. It's like dubbed over in English, but I recommend for everyone to watch it. It's a really, really good story. So it starts out with this girl, and she's at a party kind of in, I don't know, like the mountains and like rocks, and there's like a little river, and she's super high on drugs, and she like wanders off by herself and finds a dead body. And obviously she calls the police and like feels very connected to this dead body, and she's like, I want to know like their story. And it's really cool because the next 8 episodes or whatever, she basically goes back in time to see the life of the dead body's person that she found.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say that it's really cool because she finds out the person who died is connected to her parents.
Oh, okay.
So there's some drama, and I won't say what else happens, but she kind of goes through multiple people in the town's bodies, and she can even affect the future by going back in time. So it's a really good show. Okay. It has multiple timelines kind of going, but it's really good.
Ooh,
and
I like that.
Very much recommend because it's a little bit mystery.
I was gonna say it sounds like a mystery.
A little. I mean, obviously there's love. There's some thriller, excitement. Don't know what's happening. I really liked it, and I watched it with my boyfriend. So
7 Lives of
Leah.
Okay. Cute.
10 out of 10 recommend. It's on Netflix. Okay, so I found this cute list about the elements, the signs, and I thought we would go through them.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so earth signs first. And it's kind of about how you ruin your life. So it all starts with you ruin your life by. So earth signs, you ruin your life by not living your life to the fullest.
Oof. Earth signs?
Yes.
I mean, it's true. I feel like earth signs are not known to be the most risk takers.
Yeah.
And they like to be, grounded, comfortable, and rarely, I feel like, do you get to see where your life can go if you don't move.
Yeah.
Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it can't get better.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like they don't like to take that leap all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on your chart and all that stuff.
Definitely. I think, too, earth signs miss out sometimes because they're thinking about it so long.
Yeah.
You're, for example, someone invites you out. You're not sure if you want to go out, but people have already left now.
Yeah.
And now you can't go out. The opportunity has been taken away from you.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of earth signs, too, they sometimes are afraid to, make a move.
Yeah.
And really kind of, I don't know, take the chance. Take that risk. I like to plan everything out, but you can't plan everything in life. There's so many things that are unpredictable, and you miss out on the best, most fun things.
No, I mean, I feel like, earth signs can sometimes be really pessimistic about something different. I feel like if you almost always assume change is bad, you are just naturally going to be the same person forever. And I feel like that's why I've noticed earth signs have these moments where they're just they're sick of their own shit. They're just I am just tired of this shit. And it's like, tired of what? You know, because they don't really complain, because they're just like, and this is life, and this is what I do. And then all of a sudden, I feel like they wake up, and then that's when they do something really, really drastic out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they're not like the type to take little risks throughout their life. And I feel like sometimes they don't even know how long they've been doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. And they get a little frustrated.
For sure. I feel like, too, you know, sometimes when these signs are insecure, it really keeps them from getting in the game at all. Yeah. You know, like they're too in their head about showing their work or showing up in public places sometimes, and like speaking up for themselves in those public places too. Not as much for Capricorn.
Yeah, I was gonna say Capricorn's
but like
the only one
Taurus
that's not.
and Virgo really can struggle with this sometimes. And I feel like, you know, I even can think of some Capricorns that actually struggle with this. Like,
I feel like the only reason Capricorn doesn't is because they're a cardinal sign. So they need to move forward, and they want to be the initiators when it comes to life. You know, when you're a cardinal sign, you want to go. You're always moving. You're not lazy. And sometimes I feel like mutable Earth, Virgo, and fixed Earth, Taurus, they are still dealing with what is happening in front of them rather than looking forward.
Yeah.
Even though Virgo is the warrior, they're worrying about what's happening right now. Mm-hmm. A lot.
Mm-hmm. I think Cap can get that way too, though. Like, they're so stuck in the moment and the grind right now that they're not living and enjoying.
Yeah.
In the moment, too.
I can see that. Okay, next we have fire signs. And it says, you ruin your life by being your own worst enemy.
Ew.
I would say that's very much true. A lot of the times, I feel like fire signs get themselves into some shit that they can't get themselves out of. But, like, the only reason they're there is because of their reckless behavior.
Yeah, and our reckless mouths. Like, we get ourselves into... bad.
You can't hold back. And when you can't hold back, you know, they're almost like you're triggering yourself, you know? You put yourself in situations where you feel like you need to be the loudest to defend yourself when really you could have walked away. Yeah. You know, you don't always have to share every message. Yeah. And then I feel like they get offended when people tell them, well, hey, like, I didn't need to hear this from you. Yeah. You know? And then they just get annoyed because they're like, well, I'm sharing my truth. Right. And it's like, well, what did that get you? You know what I mean? Like, you shared your truth, but now everything is uncomfortable. Yeah. And people feel like, you know, you're trying to talk over them or take away their voice. Like, fire signs can sometimes do that.
For sure. I mean, it's funny when you think about it in fire, in the sense it's so much energy, and once it starts building on top of itself, a fire doesn't decrease, it continues to grow. Yeah. Right? And so sometimes when we're in a hole, like, we just continue to dig ourselves in a hole, you know? And that's what I think of when any of the fire signs are being their own worst enemy, because it's almost like when we're in it, we can't stop either. Yeah. And that's why we are our own worst enemies, because we notice it, but sometimes we're too mad. Yeah. We're dedicated at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to prove a point, and all of us fire signs really feel that way, and it does ruin relationships, make people really mad at us, ruin opportunities for us, because we can't control that.
Yeah, you can't put it back in. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that quote, you know, what you say, like, be careful what you say, because you can't take it back, you know? Yeah. And fire signs, more often than not, they're going to say what they want to say, and then they try to do damage control. But at that point, like, the damage is already done. Yeah. And really, there's no one to blame but you. Even if what happened justified the level of anger you had, people will remember what you said.
Yeah. And you know? How you blew up, you know? Because
it sucks, but it's the truth.
Yeah, because also, I hate to say it, most other people aren't reacting in that way. You know, it's just us fire signs. Yeah. I mean, water signs, too, can get that way, too, but it's because we're very passionate. Other people aren't necessarily always going to get like that, you know?
They're not. And I do feel like that's why it's like you guys are your own worst enemy, because you're saying, well, it's because I'm passionate, but then it's like you're doubling down basically on your behavior. Yeah. So then people are like, well, I can't feel sorry for you if you're just going to double down on your behavior. Right.
You know you done wrong.
Yeah.
And you don't care.
I would say out of all the signs in astrology, fire signs usually have the worst apologies because they're the ones that are like, well, you know what I mean? And then somehow they're yelling at you again.
I can't. That's super funny.
It somehow gets aggressive again, you know? Like the apology. You know what I mean, right?
I do.
Like,
well,
even
because
though that's usually
sometimes
the
people
calm
wanna,
conversation.
Well, because sometimes people then want to talk about it, you know, like talk through it. And the fire sign just needs to talk at you in that moment.
Which is crazy. I just imagine a fire sign's best case scenario is them coming to you and yelling, I'm sorry! And they run away and conversation's over.
Yeah.
They don't even need to hear anything from you.
That sounds great.
And it's like, that's not how life works, baby.
Oh.
Nobody wants to be screamed at again.
Right, you're kind of missing the point of why I was mad at you in the first place.
Literally. But when has a fire sign ever walked with their tail between their legs? I'm sorry.
Never.
Try it.
Right, and also try and tell any of these signs that we're our own worst enemy. We'll be like, fuck you. No, we're not.
Don't even look at me like a fucking weak bitch.
Why you're my number one enemy.
You're my fucking number one
You
enemy.
a hater.
You trying to put me against me? You know the hell I got is me.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
So funny.
Yeah. Hilarious, actually.
Okay, air signs. So you ruin your life by closing yourself off and hiding your true emotions. That is so true. I literally tweeted just the other day, and I feel this way, yes, about all signs, but Libra too. I'm like, how many people really know Libra? I feel like not a lot of people, and not a lot of people talk about that. But in general, yeah, you don't really know the heart of many air signs unless you're very, very close to them and you've helped dig out the information, because they don't readily give it to you either.
Because they just be talking about anything.
Anything else.
That's the thing. They fucking talk a lot. So you think, damn, I hope at some point during that conversation you said something about you, because you were talking a lot. Like, air signs are chatty. So it almost creates this false narrative that you know a lot about them.
Yeah.
Like what you said about Libra. Everybody thinks they know Libra because Libra is talking to everybody about everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing their whole life. You know what I mean? So you almost assume, like, yeah, that's Libra. Libra's friendly with everybody. So you assume you know them, but really you don't.
You don't know Libra.
You don't. Same with Gemini, same with Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are so afraid of, actually being seen by people. And that's why they're just so interested in talking about you and talking about other things, ideas.
Yes.
Beauty. You know
Your
what I mean?
feelings. Literally
Exactly.
anything but themselves.
Anything but mine. And honestly, yeah, that is what is ruining your life, truly, because you feel misunderstood. Air signs always feel misunderstood. And I think it is exhausting as an air moon, because sometimes you just are constantly rationalizing your feelings, your thoughts, your experiences.
So annoying.
And you would just hope that, like, maybe you could feel it. But no, like, you just keep thinking about it and talking about it. But that's just how, we release.
Right.
You release. But it is ruining your life because that's not the language that most people speak when it comes to their feelings.
100%.
Air signs process through talking. Other people usually process through feeling.
I feel like also the air signs, obviously, they're very social. They don't want to ruin a vibe by talking about their feelings,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them, it's like Libra wants to give you space to hear about your feelings more. Gemini just wants to be having a good time. Aquarius probably wants to be just learning information and, like, talking philosophical and debating with you. Like, they don't want to, they're too cold to
Let's
be talking about your feelings,
honest. The air signs, all of them have given themselves like this crown of, like, I set the vibe. Like, nobody's fucking making you be the vibe setter, but, like, you're good at it. But, like, who told you that you need to do that? Like, let's talk about you.
Right.
Like, it's fine. Actually, people will be so interested to hear about you and your experience, because you air signs are the best storytellers. Yes, write me a poem talking about your fucking feelings, air.
Yeah.
Like, people give water a lot of credit when it comes to depth and emotions, which is so true. But the way an air sign can describe emotions is very, very beautiful. So you just gotta like get that shit out of your head. You could even say a friend felt this way. You know what I mean? And we'll know that, you know, you mean you.
Oh, so good. Yes.
So good.
I just want them, though, to, like you said, not think that they always have to set the vibe and, like, that they're going to be ruining things by opening up and sharing their emotions, because I really feel like a lot of them think that. Like, we're having a good time, though. Like, I'm happy right now. I don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah.
And it's like...
I mean, it's a cop-out, dude. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out.
It is.
I don't even think it's because, I mean, maybe it's because they don't want to rock the boat sometimes, but I just generally feel like they're uncomfortable talking about feelings. And it's when they are the most seen. And they'd rather just do the thing they're good at, which is talk.
About anything else. What's you say, Sarah?
I'm triggered. I'm not gonna lie. Water signs, you ruin your life by letting your past and emotions damage your future. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I'm working on this one heavy, but it's the damn fucking truth. Honestly, it is. Water sign, your nostalgia will get the best of you. Like somehow we have a sick fucking way of fucking looking at the past and nitpicking the best memories and be like, that was my experience.
Yeah,
and I miss that. And you're like, you literally just like sucked every negative experience you had from that time in your life, and all of a sudden you're nostalgic and you're like, if only it could be like that again. What are you talking about? You fake ass fraudulent, like who are you? Yeah, because we cried a lot over that time. Yes, but somehow you missed that time. Like what?
The way water signs romanticize
pain.
Yes,
were you here? Like literally 20 minutes ago, we talked about it's just so sweet thinking about sadness and and horror.
It brings me comfort. But truly, I feel like like all water signs really feel that way, and a lot of them are, again, ruining any type of future opportunities that they can have and better lovers they can have by living in the past and holding on to things that didn't even always really make them happy. You know what I mean? Like they're accepting less from their families, from their friends, from their teachers, from their bosses. And you know, you're romanticizing on it because sometimes these water signs aren't getting out and putting themselves in new opportunities, you know? So it's like, oh, I'll just harp on this moment.
Yeah, truly. We got 10 luggage. 10 pieces of luggage. Like we are carrying the baggage around. The emotional baggage is there. And we think it defines us. That's the fucking problem. We think unless I show people all the baggage I come with and all the shit I've been through, no one will really know me. And it's like, let it go. Drop that shit off. Burn it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Everything you've gone through, all your emotions, like all your past experiences, trust me, it will be seen. Like, you're a water sign. People will see your depth. But sometimes I feel like we don't want our past to be forgotten. And, like, we just want to relive in it. And it's like, go out there and make some new fucking memories. Like, that's what I've been fucking telling myself. I'm a nostalgic ass bitch. Like, I just love it. I be listening to my music from the past and just living in it. Until I realized, like, this is actually damaging. Like, I can't do this shit all the time. Yeah. You could have, like, a couple of days in a year you could do this. And because I'm not going to give it up. Who am I to give it up? But you can't be doing this shit all the time because it's fake. Like, that's not your reality anymore. If you still need to heal and grieve, do that shit. But go out there and make new memories. Experience new things. Because I feel like we just have this feeling of, it'll never be the same. Yeah. It won't
if you keep thinking like that.
That is a good thing. Yeah. Like, you don't want it to be the same. Trust me. You don't. Mm-hmm. Just because that shit is comforting because you know it doesn't mean it's more fulfilling. Remember that shit.
100%. I feel like water signs too will ruin their life in this way, because they will also think that whoever hurt them in the past, or somebody did this in the past, it's going to happen again in the future. You know? And that's another key way that I feel like y'all really shoot yourselves in the feet. And that's not always going to be the case. You know, you have to trust your intuition and your empathy and your knowledge of people, that you'll be able to suss it out next time, you know?
Yeah. You know, I just thought about it too. And maybe it's kind of similar for fire signs too. I feel like sometimes we can be vengeful and angry about the past and emotional and sad about the past, maybe because, like, you know, those situations that we were in, whatever they may have been, maybe they made us feel certain feelings and certain passions and, you know, for life, that we almost feel like if we get rid of it, that we won't have that much emotion ever again. And it's like, no, you can still have the depths of those emotions in the future. You can let go of that part of you,
For sure.
you know, like it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. You won't forget. I promise you won't forget.
Yeah.
The good times will stay with you. Just let go of the negative times.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's hard.
Yeah, because you don't want to keep reliving those unhealthy moments, you know, or trying to, like, oh, you knew you were in a toxic relationship, or you weren't getting what you deserve, but you're still, like, looking for that because there was some excitement or something that it brought something out of you, you know, like, and that's totally fair, but you have to realize, you have to separate the two.
Absolutely.
You know?
And it's honestly so hard to do that. It's hard to do that. But I feel like the easiest way, not very easy. The easiest way to do that is to think about, like, mirror it back to you. Like, instead of thinking about the past and thinking about the people that were there during those chapters, put it back on you and be like, who was I during those chapters? What was I learning during those chapters? What kind of hard lessons did I have to learn during those hard chapters to be who I am today? Like, it's not always about other people, but we give so much power to other people when we think about the past, for all signs. You know, we think of certain chapters of our life and we think of the characters, you know, whether it be friends, exes, whatever, school, college, whatever it would be. We think of those things, external things, when we think about certain chapters of our life. And I want us to kind of take our power back and be like, who was I during that chapter?
Yeah.
What was I going through during that chapter? It's about you, not other people. You know? And when you are able to look at a situation from a bird's eye view like that, you take your power back. Because sadly, you know, we're the main character. It's not sadly, but we're the main character in our lives. Let's think about ourselves instead of making certain chapters of our lives about other people.
100%. And if you're always looking back to the past or thinking about the future, you're missing the best part, which is the now, the present. You know, that's why they call it a gift, the present. You know?
Truly.
You know that saying. Thought I broke it today, like.
You got scared.
Yeah, I don't even know how I guess probably from the wine. I was like,
and did it feel pain?
I felt the pain, and I literally thought my whole nail, like,
dude,
fell off. I was like, it's gone.
That's honestly terrifying. And have you ever had a finger toenail fall off?
No, but I have broken my nail, like, really low.
Oh, yeah.
And I had acrylics on. And I was trying to put, like, a blanket away. And that shit bent all the way back and, like,
the pain
broke further than halfway down my nail. So, I mean, half of my nail was gone.
Yeah, no, that's...
It was one of the worst pains I've ever experienced.
One time I jammed my toe, I think, like, either in a door or something. It was bad. It was bad. I'm like, I had nail polish on, so I couldn't really see how bad it was.
Yeah.
It just hurt really bad. All of a sudden, like, my whole nail, like, the next day fell off.
Oh my gosh, that's so
because it was just so bruised.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just remember, like, not having
You're like,
a toenail. I'm like, oh, wait.
Did you touch it?
It felt like a... yeah. It felt like a reset. It felt like a paradigm shift. Like I've never experienced this life without a toenail, without that toenail. Have you know?
Have you? Like, no, I haven't.
Like, where was it?
And then it just like grew. Yeah, and then where did it grow from? Like,
I freaking like that is exactly what I was thinking. I touched it and it didn't feel like horrible. It wasn't like you know what I mean? Because it was so bruisey. And like that's essentially what makes like fingernails fall off. Yeah, if it's so bruised underneath it that it literally just pushes, pops it off. Pop that shit off. And then out of nowhere, I saw like it was like a seed growing, like like it's just little tiny little started growing on itself. And for like the first like I don't know, a few times I had to keep cutting it because like it was a little bumpy at first. Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it had to get itself straight.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was so weird, but also like really sickeningly like satisfying.
Yeah, like kind of cool.
It was so cool and weird.
Yeah.
I just remembered like I'm like I don't have a fucking toenail right now. Like you wouldn't know this about me, but I wouldn't. I don't imagine.
I don't have a toenail.
I don't have a toenail, but you don't know. You don't know.
Weird.
I don't have a toenail.
I wonder if someone has a kink to like suck a
not toenail toe.
Exactly.
It's like very like
very specific.
No. That sounds I feel like that sounds like a bacterial infection. Don't fucking look at my naked toe.
I was gonna say it sounds very like sadist, like because if you like it, you know it only happens when people hurt themselves.
No, for sure.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And then what? You want to suck that sad toe?
And you have to be you have to trust someone deeply for them to suck on your bare toed toe, no
your
toenail.
Toenailless toe.
It's like you're not wearing a bra,
right? It's like a little baby's. It's very
soft.
It's very soft. It shouldn't be touched only by the mother and the father.
That's not right.
You know, it's not right.
It's not right. I wasn't supposed to see my own toenail like that, but I did. It was damaging.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. No.
Wow.
It was just weird.
That's
funny.
That's funny. That's very
I'm
funny.
telling you. That just stuck with me.
I mean, yeah.
It was the summer I didn't have a fucking toenail.
But yeah.
It didn't. That's just gone. You know what I just thought about?
Huh.
All my other toenails are like a family, but that specific toe like is the newest one. You know what I mean?
Sheep.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
it's like the baby of the family.
Like it's definitely the black sheep it left. I don't know where it is right now. It's decomposing somewhere.
The black sheep and the baby. Mm-hmm. And it's appropriate to be the black sheep because it was probably black.
It was. It wasn't wanted. It was shunned.
Yeah.
No one understood it.
Gone. Oh my gosh.
Can't.
Okay, not to really continue this conversation, but did you ever slam one of your siblings' fingers in the door?
No, I did not. Is that something that you did? Luckily, I did it
a couple of times.
But I feel like I would get
like
my
it was
ass.
my brother's fault. He would like be like chilling with his like hands right there, and I'd be like la 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 la.
Oh yeah, no.
And then I got my fingers slammed in a door once, and it hurt really bad. I'm surprised they didn't break.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You know?
Yeah. Oof. Ow.
Right?
Like, oh.
But,
why does it hurt so much when you stub your toe in your bed? Like, that's not right.
Okay. Also, why do they make bed frames so hard when they know people's toes may be busting up on it?
Yeah. Why don't they make them round shaped?
You know, or soft? Like there should be foam.
Yeah, around it.
You know?
Truly. These
like
things...
why? Mine is metal, and every time I hit my toe,
it's horrible.
It's the worst feeling.
Dude, you know those floating beds? Like the ones that float. Like I think those are so cool. But I'm like, how do they work?
I don't know. Do they swing too?
No, not the swinging ones. Like they're like connected to the wall. Like that part's connected, but it comes out like this. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it. New bed. New bed thing.
No, literally. Honestly.
Beds
like,
haven't been revolutionized.
They really haven't, and they need to do something about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like...
They haven't...
If I have no budget at some point and I get to have any kind of bed, I want a couple of designers to do a little bidding war. Like, give me your ideas.
Yeah.
I want something different.
New. They haven't done something new since I feel like the waterbed. Like, that was like
and that's
the
so
last
dumb.
revolution. And it killed a lot of people, you know? I think. I don't know.
I believe it, dude.
I didn't have a waterbed. My grandparents have a waterbed. But
that's like crazy.
Right?
Like, who said that? Why do we need a waterbed?
I
What was it good for?
I don't know.
Nobody even knows. It means it didn't leave a
mark.
mark.
I couldn't tell you. It was just like one of those things that they did back in the day that they clearly just don't do no more. Like, you know, it was a thing to not wear your seatbelt, but obviously we wear seatbelts now.
Yeah.
And people used to put cocaine on their teeth.
They did. It worked.
Numb it.
From what I was told.
They used to give it to little babies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild.
That is actually bonkers.
It used to be in
you
cola.
want a little Coca-Cola?
Right. Well, I mean, if it used to be in Coca-Cola, there'd be like...
That's insane, actually.
Right?
How?
Dang, everyone was
Coca
just...
was Coca. Coca was not... Because Coke was expensive. How are they putting Coke in there? Does anybody know? Make it make sense.
Maybe it was, I don't know. Well, maybe it was just like a little bit, like just like the same amount that's like on all dollar bills.
That's not wild. That's ghetto. And I mean,
I'll never forget when I learned that.
In the sense that like America is wild.
Right.
America's the ghetto. Like when they say America's the ghetto, like that's what I think of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like why is there Coke on our $1 bills?
On most of our bills. On pretty much any bill, you will find remnants of it.
I wish there was there was a list right now that we could react to that says all the reasons why America is the ghetto of the world.
Yeah, it is. Of the whole world.
Of the whole world.
This is what others deem as the third world. Like, we are the third world country.
But somehow we've been lied to all these years that we're the world superpower.
Right. People, if you are just listening, you can't see my air quotations, but maybe you just felt it.
I heard it in your voice, too.
The fuck up out of that.
It's just wild to me because I know they're trying to fix it, but just even the fact that the student loans might not get canceled because somehow the Republicans are like mad that people might have the same opportunity to live a better life if their student loans were canceled, especially people of color.
Yeah.
Like they're like big mad. They're
right.
Like, so you want to level
really
the playing field.
How dare you?
And I took that personally.
I know.
The Republicans are like, I took that personally. Like, why? You are so okay. Why?
They're just so hypocritical because another thing that not a lot of people know, like all of them get free healthcare. You know what I mean? So why do they get to argue for us if we deserve free healthcare? You get free healthcare already just by being in the government. Don't you think, like, isn't that nice for you and your family?
And aren't they always using it?
I bet that's nice.
Because they're old and they probably have health conditions.
They do. They do. I want whatever doctor is out there to come out and say who's taking the dementia medication.
Exactly.
Okay? I need to know. Blow it up.
Bill, we're looking. I don't know. I feel like Bill Nye is going to do something.
Yeah, I need him to come.
There's going to be like an anonymous X Bill Nye collaboration. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
Manifesting.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Him and SZA.
Him and SZA's gonna be the singing force behind the campaign.
Yes. Taking down climate deniers.
Exactly.
Student loan debt haters.
Exactly. One bill at a time.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
You can't take us anywhere.
You can't. Or you can take us everywhere. Anyway, thank you for kicking it with us, besties. We hope you all enjoyed this very random conversation as we like to do here.
We love you guys so much. we're gonna see you in the new year. This is
Yeah.
like our last
Hoorah
podcast
before the new year.
Exactly.
Have
in
a fabulous new
2022.
year. In New Year's Eve, be safe, have fun. Take the stick out your ass and just live it up, baby. You
Let
deserve
loose
it.
a little bit.
Bye.
Bye.